What's going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today I want to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what is really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, it is down 2.62%. So rather disappointing, definitely lagging the other EVs today. Of course, I think China in general is pulling back, and that's just because of a lot of chatter associated to tariffs and how that could really damage essentially Chinese stocks and its consumers and everything else. But $4.57 the low, $4.80 the high. Market is rallying right now though. NASDAQ just hit an all-time high, and that is because of CPI. So CPI just came out kind of in line with the forecast. So as a byproduct of that, now it's pretty much solidifying this right here. So a 25 basis point cut for the December 18th meeting. So all in all, I think pretty good stuff. Not necessarily in NIO's case. No official news from NIO, no SEC filings. So it's kind of just been at the mercy of the broader market as well as shorts. The only thing that really came out unofficially was this. So NIO partners with China's payment giant AliPay after MasterCard alliance. So I think this is going to really help with I guess just the consumer's standpoint. I don't see anyone going out and buying NIO just because of this. So this is a good like FYI, but is this a good catalyst to buy NIO? Not so much. So it's kind of just it's another good thing to have. I think NIO's been doing a lot of this type of PR, such as a lot of its expansion to the Middle East, which is good, but they're expanding at the same time to a lot of places that don't really have the infrastructure. So I think NIO bigger picture is setting themselves up for pretty good success. In the short term, the market doesn't really like the news all that much. Today, shorts aren't really doing all that much though. So shorts right now are increasing 134,000 shares. That is net, so they were a little bit more active first thing, but 14.14% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 188.81 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost per average is 5.75, and then utilization is 91.39. Through IBKR, just indicate around 5.7 million shares is available to be shorted. And actually just updating right now, so it looks like they are now returning 236,000 shares. So once again, that's kind of a good thing in my opinion. So just be aware of that. And just on a side note, in case you aren't familiar with shorts, by them obviously now returning some shares, that does add buying pressure. And so it hasn't really correlated with the stock price all that much, and I think just algorithms are really working against NIO because so far there's only one transaction on the secondary market above $100,000. So it did have two good days. So the 9th, which was a very positive day, 10th, which was more of a initial breakdown, and then today is kind of just the repercussions of all of that. But big money is just back to not really buying the NIO dip, which is very, very unfortunate. But aside from that, looking at options, 3.91 million in calls, 839,000 in puts. Pretty big one right here. So 512,000 between 9:30 and 9:35. So generally good stuff. And as well, 48% of all the options being done today are optimistic in nature. And of those call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above 550. So the optimism has gone down slightly. Yesterday, there was a lot of hope for it to be roughly around 650. So that's kind of gone down quite a lot. And yeah, in reality, nothing really crazy. There's a lot at the 750 for January 2025, but still not really much to talk on for that. And then the put, so the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly 450. So a little bit more upside is anticipated, but you have seen these random pockets. So this was that big transaction. So a $2 strike for January 16th, 2026. So big money behind the scenes is really betting that NIO is going to go down, because almost like every single day that I've brought up, you see this random pocket of just, for whatever reason, just big money, assuming NIO is going to continue to break down, whether that be because of like geopolitical issues or just NIO's fundamental operations itself. I'm not really sure. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that though, right now with it at 466 and change, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 460 is going to be a strong support, bounced off of that general area. So of course that's a good thing. So just take note of that. going into the rest of today as well as tomorrow. And then $4.78 is going to be that next strong target / resistance. And similarly, it kind of bounced off of that as well. So it's just trading wedge bound between the R1 and the pivot. And just briefly moving over to IBKR, today you are seeing a kind of a breakdown based on the technicals, and that's unfortunate. I think NIO does really show a lot of signs that it wants to go up, and clearly with a little bit of hope about stimulus, it causes it to go up like crazy, but usually those are kind of short-lived. And it's always, I've been covering NIO like on and off for like 2 years, as I've stated in the past, and it is very frustrating, especially comparing like just NIO and any American EV. Just the PS ratio is just, NIO is like, their output for what they actually are trading at multiple wise is just absolutely insane. So yeah, it's just a crap show, regrettably. And once they do obtain profitability later down the line, that's where the stock price will more correlate with their operations. But until then, you're just going to have this type of situation happening. But as of right now, it is below the ALMA, so definitely something to kind of watch for. So in the short term, 481 is going to be a key one to really like get over. And then aside from that, you do have that 200 and also 100-day moving average, very, very close. So that's going to be a very heavy resistance. And just generally, one thing that I did state that needed to happen in the short term was for it to get above this point of $5.26. That is where that would cause a lot of algorithmic trading to really turn and cause it and signal a buy. And it's, I think, just majority of volume for NIO does come from shorts as well as algorithmic trading. To have algorithmic trading on your side could have been that nice push higher for NIO to get to kind of higher levels, but regrettably, that rally that did happen on the 9th was very short-lived. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from all that fun stuff, no new update for the Morningstar, so still shows a fair market value being $6.80. So that is based on just the assets alone. And I don't believe any new ratings have come out. So last couple have been 8 days ago, 9 days ago, $7.50, $8.90, and then $4. So what is your viewpoint on NIO? Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with them behind the scenes? One thing as well, while actually I'm on here, that I wanted to share with you is that this is starting to go back up. So the average duration that shorts do hold NIO is now 90.29 days. It did have recently a low of, I think it was like 82. So with it going down, that does show more of a lack of confidence in shorts, but now the fact that it is starting to go back up shows that shorts are holding for longer, meaning they're more confident. So it's a very unfortunate scenario how this is all playing out, but let me know your thoughts on NIO. One final thing I just wanted to share with you though, I did launch a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there to take a look. Link in the description below and also comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.